Good morning. Good morning. Thank you again for listening. So, if anyone is new here, or what I'm doing in this on Sundays is I'm just trying to help you clear as many blockages as possible. And by saying yes, just means that you're releasing it from your body and you're allowing yourself to and giving yourself permission to let go of it instead of holding on to it and recreating it in your body. So today I wanted to talk about. I'm part of the Eden Living Energy Fest. She's having this weekend, and so because they're in a different time zone, it's a little difficult to watch it live. But I managed to catch Bruce Lipton, and my God, that man is like, to listen to what he has to say. He can verify everything that he talks about. It's just very, very wonderful to witness that. So I would highly recommend, if you get a chance to listen to him on any subject, it would be a great eye opener. Let me tell you. So he confirmed a lot of beliefs I had, and I try not to get too political on this page, but it's like, yeah, it's just amazing, and it's all confirmed through science. So it's very wonderful, and he's a high supporter of Donnie Eden and her husband. And then the beautiful thing is that she had this thing about, like, there's different categories of sessions that you could listen to, and there's one lady that talks about healing with your voice. It was like awesome. So on that note, one of the things that I wanted to clear for us is that, hello, Rose. And so I had realized that a lot of us, well, I was carrying this. So I would like to remove and release. Like, if you work in a job that requires you to dress a certain way, you have to wear a uniform, or you're only allowed to wear certain colors, certain footwear, and it's like they're killing your individuality, because you have to, you are expected to, and sometimes I understand, because it has to do with, like, it has to do with that they don't want you to dress too revealing. But whose version of revealing is it, right? So what I'm trying to clear is that this conformity that we've learned through life, that we have to contract and shrink ourselves down to an acceptable level, so that we can work, we can live, we can be in relationships, and that, so any place that you have either disassociated from yourself or have shrunk yourself down to these conformities, because they are conform. It is a pattern of conformity that we've learned through life. And it's like, I realized I was doing it the other day, is that I try to shrink myself. And then when I allow bits and pieces of myself out, which, sometimes it's like, it's interesting, because I work in a business that involves the public, and it's interesting who shows up when you allow those individual pieces of you to show up out. So remove and release all areas of your behavior and patterns that have taught you that it's not okay to be you. It's not okay to give yourself permission to exist in a certain way. And it's not okay to, it's almost like it's not okay to stand there in acceptance of yourself, because we've been taught, okay, when we go to work, we put on this mask. When we go over here, we put this mask on. And it's like, but there's a lot of people out there that don't do that, unless they put the mean, nasty mask on in the grumpy you want. But I've noticed lately, and like I was saying last week, there's more and more of them that are nicer. But I'm just using this as an example. Because, there's a lot of hidden jobs that we don't think of where they have to deal with families and the public, and they're in, like, it's a high stress situation. And so remove and release all forms of conformity that have battered and contracted you, and unconsciously that you just decided that you will allow this to occur. Yes. And also remove and release all the patterns and belief systems that have taught you it's not okay to be you. Yes. There was a lot of subliminal messaging back in the 80s and the 90s, and like, if you, at that time, media was like magazines, TV shows, and like billboards and stuff like that, and there was a lot of messaging about, you had to be, this is the life you had to live, and this is how they wanted you to be. And it's like, not everybody grew up in that environment, but does that mean that we were wrong? No, that's what they wanted you to believe. So in any aspect of your life, on any level, at any age, that you've bought all those lies, and they are lies, because that's not reality. Like, you're more than just your outside cover. There's a brain, there's emotions, and you all know this, but there's still lies that are hidden deep down in there that we've bought. So remove and release them. Yes. Because it has stemmed to your individuality. It has caused you to, like, and use this one of the examples. So in the movement of in the gay movement, I witnessed, and I'm sure there was others like that, like, people would totally stop talking to their child, disown them, and just throw them out like they meant nothing. And it's like, my God, I cannot believe that we allowed. I mean, there's other stuff that that occurred in history, but that they consider this acceptable. And it's like, so remove and release any of those atrocities from any lifetime that you've witnessed, where it's because they don't fit the norm, they don't look a certain way, and they don't act a certain way, they're not worthy of love. Remove and release that. Yes. It's like, what the hell do they think is going to happen? Like, you are allowed that you wake up, you're going to wake up, like, that's hard to, sorry. Wake up and love yourself? What's wrong with that? Really, what's wrong with that? And it's like, sometimes too, we get trapped in the belief that we have a tendency to, like, we're so focused on what we've been taught is wrong with us. Sometimes that, and I mean, I was guilty of this too. That's changed, thank God. But focus on what's wrong with us. That the people around us are so busy in their own lives, they don't really notice that. So it's almost like we're taught to carry this dagger and stab ourselves in the heart and in the back and in the mind to numb us out, to make us, like, comply. And it's like, the hell with that shit. We're not doing that anymore. So, and there's more and more people that are not willing to do this anymore. And thank you. Thank the universe. So remove and release that. Yes. And this is what affects us from being in this acceptance of ourselves. And it's like, we don't have, like, there's an example of, just trying to think of a way to say this, but okay, I'll just move on for now. Remove and release. Oh, any projections, expectations, and judgments that we have decided are more important than our own. Yes. You know, sometimes what some of the, one of the examples was, there's no guarantee. This was I think this was one of the things that was said to me because I didn't have children, was that, oh my God, like, what's going to happen to you when you're older? You're going to die alone. Well, there's no guarantee that your children are going to be around you and you're not going to die alone. And plus, we don't die alone. The people that we had love connections to, that have passed on, come and get you. So you don't die alone. So don't ever think that. Like, I just couldn't believe this person. And it's like, wow, the stuff that we've bought that we don't even realize that we bought. Remove and release that. Yes. And remove and release, it's almost like there's repeating pattern in us that we allow ourselves to get so far, and then something will occur within people around us that stops us in our tracks and keeps us stuck. So remove and release all aspects of yourself that have contracts, bonds, oaths, and promises with the people around you, so that when you step out of what is considered, maybe in many lifetimes you haven't been at this step, you haven't been at this level of evolution, you haven't been at this awareness of yourself and allowance of yourself. So you have contracts that are set up with other people in your lives so that they will act out or do something to stop you and keep you stuck. So remove and release that. Yes. One of the greatest things that you can do for yourself is, and sometimes when you get busy, I do it, I'm guilty of it as well, that I forget to muscle test to make sure that this is the right product for me, or, so any form. So let's remove and release all locks and all projections, expectations, judgments, limitations, and fears that have put you in a place that you no longer trust yourself or no longer trust your body. That when you're, it's very, one of the things is that ever since I come back from the spinal flow in May, it's like my body has a new conversation. And I was going to get something at the grocery store, and I heard it say, "You got to be kidding me! You're not putting that in your body." Nope, no. So remove and release where you have that disconnection from yourself, from your higher self, from your soul level, from all parts and sums of you. Yes. And also remove and release all programs, all poisons, all habits, and all patterns that do not allow you to celebrate, elevate, and be in peace and allowance of yourself. Whatever contracts, whatever bonds, whatever oaths, promises that you have with other people or have with yourself to keep you tied and keep you trapped and contracted. in all levels, as gently and softly as possible. Remove and release it. Yes. And remove and release all all forms of contraction. Like I was using the uniform as one. It's like where you've picked up the sisterhoods, or every person that wears that jacket. You may be receiving all their pain, all their suffering, and all their limitations and fears, as well, as you put that jacket on, as you put that uniform on, as you conform to what they want you to do. Remove and release that. Yes. Bruce Lipton gave an example of there is this lady that was in one city and her son was in another city, and she could feel that something was wrong, and the hundreds of miles that energy transferred. So if you think about it, like so let's remove and release as well from every color that you wear, every material that you wear, and anything that interferes and affects your body, your energy, and your circuit systems. That is not in your highest and best good, and you may have bought it or accepted it from other people, or it doesn't even belong to you. It just may be part of the series or part of the completion of the pattern. So all this stress, no matter where your clothes came from, no matter where your food comes from, no matter where, what's in your water, what's in the air around you, remove and release anything and everything of that aspect that is harmful and has caused you harm and is continuing to cause you harm. So past, present, and future, time and space, what we know and what we don't know, and any existence in any lifetime that you've also accepted this. Yes. Yeah, because that was pretty impressive what he talked about, and it's like, wow. And yeah, yeah, it was Rose. That was huge. So one of the things that you can do, because there was a doctor, I can't pronounce it, but he talked about like water. So how about just holding your hand over your food, your water, your coffee, anything that you have, and just send it love and release it from the whatever binds it, so it does not emanate the highest and best frequency for you. So what you could do is put your hand over it and just project love and the higher vibration frequency of for you, the highest and best of you, right? However you want to word that. I'm just giving you some ideas. And remove and release. You know how they talk about that when you buy eggs from a farmer or someone who has their own chickens out back, and you can see that the chickens roam freely and they're happy. There's and it's like you can taste the difference in the eggs from the trauma to that. You can taste the difference in the beef, in the pork. Like there is a difference. There is like so much. There's so much trauma trapped in everything that we not everything, some things might not have it, but anything that's chemically sprayed, anything that disrupts your DNA, RNA, your cell memory, your receptors, circuits, and systems, remove and release it. And anything that's been trapped in there that may be used as a form of conformity or a form of like to make you always unconsciously pick something else for you. instead of allowing you to choose, right? So you might automatically be drawn to that. And I mean, I'm guilty of that too. I see sometimes that pattern in myself. So I work away at it. So remove and release it. Yes. The secret too as well is that not to give up on yourself, because sometimes it's like, I love this is one of my favorite analogies. You know how Shrek said, we're like onions, some layers are really thin and some layers are really thick. That's what you're doing. You're peeling away to your being, your oneness, your knowing, and being an allowance of yourself. And sometimes there's a lot of layers to get through. I don't I mean, sometimes I think, oh, not again. But it's, don't give up on yourself. That's the secret. Don't give up on yourself. Because sometimes what happens when you meet the greatest resistance, that's when you stop. And then if you had passed through that, something amazing, wonderful, and beautiful could be on the other side. And it's like, I have had problems with my lymphatic system and edema, and you know what? I still have a few issues with it, but nowhere's near what I did have. So I'm getting there, and I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep trying. And the the unfortunate thing is that I witnessed my parents who depended upon and believed in the medical system, and I witnessed how they passed, and I will not do that. I will try to stay as healthy as possible and move forward as much as possible in any shape or form. So remove and release any genetic, they want me to say, disposition that may lead you to contract yourself, um, disassociate with yourself, and not allow yourself to be, not allow yourself to connect to your being. Yes. And if you think about it in a way, there's a we can focus on things, and I'm guilty of that as well. That it sometimes it overtakes our whole entire body and our being, and it's like, uh, you have to realize that, like the example. This is really political, anyways. The example, I was blown away by the choices people were making in the last 4 years, and it's like, wow, wow. Like, do you not believe in yourself? Do you not think you have a choice? Like, but sometimes some of us, especially here, was not given really choices. So remove and release any of that conformity that will make you do that again in the future. That is not in your highest best good, and is not part of who you are, and takes you out of your alliance, takes you out of your choices, and takes you out of your power and freedom. Yes. It's almost now when you hear certain things, you start to laugh, because it's like, it's such a lie. It's such a lie. Like, that's not true. But it's it's a it's a choice. I choose me. I choose me. I choose me. I will not. Um, I'm okay if people don't want to associate with me and don't want to be part of, like, that's okay with me, but I choose me. I'm going to choose me all the time. Like, I would not, I'm not going to be part of something that doesn't allow me to choose myself. So anything and everywhere's that you may be living the life of someone else, not living your dreams and not living your hopes, and that you have been sort of, this is I don't know how else to say it. You sort of been corralled into make certain choices for yourself, so you end up at a certain place, and it's like, no, no, you don't even have to go to that place. You can be a medical miracle. You can be a miracle. You are a miracle. We have that choice within us, but we've not been taught this, right? So remove and release all the buttons and all the set points that you have in your body that tells you that you must go this way. And it's like, no, 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 you can get off there at any time. And you can release and let go of that at any time. You do not have to conform. Who wants to live a life where you take, where you don't have many choices because you're so dependent of something? So remove and release that. Yes. Because the one thing that we forget is that we have a right to ask. And I don't always ask either. I'm trying to get better with that. We have a right to ask the universe. The universe is listening. Our loved ones are listening. People who touched our soul are listening. And if you just have to ask and to open yourself up to the belief that it is all possible. It is possible. I never would have thought that I'd be on here doing this, not even a couple of years ago, because I had been trapped in a place of I couldn't believe what choices people were making. But you know what? It's their choice, not mine. So, when I cleared that, I realized it freed me, right? And it's like, and also the like being dealing with emotional, mental, and spiritual, and now physical. Um, I had felt like a failure because it's like so many people, like I was dedicating out to the universe, dedicating to all the people of the earth and all this stuff. But it's not what the problem was. I was dedicating from a place of judgment because it's not my choice, it's their choice. I just thought that by giving them an option, a different choice would have been made, but it wasn't. And it's like, that's okay, that's their journey. But you know what? Like I said, universe gives you two, second, third, fourth, fifth chances, like many chances. You can get off that boat, off that system. You can get off that at any time. You're not stuck on it. And that's where they have you trapped to believe that this is the only way you get to go. And it's like, no, 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 there's many exits, right? You just have to choose where you want to leave. And it's like, even if you so the if you do something like there's some people that have the ability that no matter what is around them, they still stay centered and grounded. And it's like that is a miracle in itself, that you found a way to be yourself, to be in light, and to be in a joyful place. That is a miracle, because no matter what's going on around you, it's not affecting you. And it's like, so remove and release any aspect of ourselves that is still seeking approval outside of ourselves. And it's a journey, it's a mission. I work on it all the time. And it just making me realize that there's so much that I have accomplished and got myself here. And and it's like, and I'm so thankful for the people listening, because it's like, your light is bright, that you have possibilities, and that this is, thank you for listening. I really appreciate it. And so remove and release any hidden agendas that we still may be carrying that may lead to the demise, stuckness of us, or the seeking not only approval, but is seeking paths that are not our highest and best good. Yes. Softly and gently. Yes. And remove and release. Because it's almost like we're entering a space of awareness, and a lot of us are elevating to new awareness, and we have so that, and sometimes you have symptoms of that you're releasing and letting go of aspects of yourself. So when you clear anything, if you would like to, please add the soft and gentleness, because sometimes I just want to clear it, keep going, moving, and then suffer. I don't want to suffer. This is what I'm trying to clear now, is that it's, and I was talking about earlier about living in thriving instead of just surviving. Well, I no longer am accepting of the possibility. Like, I want to move forward in a peaceful, joyful way. So that's what I was trying to focus and clear on. All of us is clearing that pathway and getting rid of like all the garbage that has been placed upon us that we're not even aware of, that has created beliefs in us that slow us down, that stop us, and that cause so many roadblocks that it's almost impossible to get through them. So remove and release that all. Yes. I mean, Dottie Eden's she was 81 and she's still doing her thing. She's still doing her thing. She's been doing it for decades. And it's like, we were in a class. One of the classes that I listened to was, like I said, about singing, and it was really fascinating what she taught us in it. And it's like the possibility of, like, yes, there's a lot of knowledge out there, and there's a lot of different opportunities to change your thoughts and change your patterns, and it can sometimes be overwhelming. So how about you just follow your knowing and choose things that make you, because I'm one of these people. I'm all about trying something. I'm willing to listen. I'm willing to try, as long as it resides with me and vibrates with me. And sometimes I think maybe it's one of my past lives that gets me to take some of the courses, because it's like I think, oh, I wasn't really wanted to do, but okay, I'm taking it. So it's really interesting. So just pay attention to that, because there is a lot of information out there. There's a lot of ways that we can change and learn and grow. And it's so wonderful and so amazing that this exists. But just pay attention to your being and make sure that you're in you. It is you that's asking to take the course or follow the path or choose something, and not other parts of you that are not here at the moment. Because sometimes what happens is I can be very, how do I put this? Because I'm in one of my aspects is an empath, and I can be really sensitive. I'll go to the store and I'm like, why am I going here? Why am I getting this? It's not me that wants it. And it's like, oh yeah. So I've started cluing into that. And it's making it a lot easier for me. And it's making me feel better about, like, that I don't feel like I almost have to avoid certain stores, because I'll just go in and buy stuff. And then I'll be home and like, I don't really need this. So remove and release. Oh my, the judgments of others, especially as we've talked before, the unsolicited opinion that may still reside within you and still may affect how you view yourself, how you see yourself, and how you love yourself. Yes. That was really big. Another thing that we have a tendency to do, and I realize that this is something that we tend not to grow too much because the people around us are not growing. But why does that really matter? Because you've been taught through life how you had, I've talked about two like complete strangers coming up to me and saying something wonderful to me. And it's like I've the universe finds a way to get everything to you. It's just whether we're open to accepting it or not. And so let's remove and release all conditions that we have against ourselves, that we only grow when we feel safe, when people around us grow, or the people around us are open to it, or if society itself is open to the possibility of something completely different. Yes. That one lifted a lot of stuff out. Whew. That was okay. So take a deep breath. You're breathing in love. How about you're breathing in yourself, who you are, the amazing person that you are. Hold for a bit. And as you release all things that are not in your highest and best good. Again, release. Breathe in, hold, release. Take another breath. Hold, and then release. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful weekend and have a wonderful week. It's going to be interesting. Enjoy. Enjoy. Thank you.